Quitting Nerdigans. This is the one and only Packer Girl 89 of Nerdigans Inc. and anime and manga contributor to Bounding into Comics. And today's Nerdigan Deep Dive is going to be for the latest interview with Kaguya-sama Love is War and Oshinoko mangaka Aka Akasaka. So before I get into this deep dive, let me just remind you to hit that like, share, and subscribe buttons. And because, of course, this channel alone, this video, are not sponsored. If you love what we're doing and want to help keep this operation alive and kicking so we can keep bringing you more anime and manga content, whether it be for live reactions like for, formerly Kaguya-sama Love is War, which we did cover for a long time, and Oshinoko, which we have been covering for a while now. As well as news and analysis and deep dives like this video, feel free to hit up our Cash App and PayPal links are in the description box below, as well as the link to the article from Shueisha Online that we will be covering up in here. So, man, this was a happy accident find. So as I was scouring through Japanese Twitter, making sure I have everything that I need for the article I'm doing covering the rabbit hole that is Twitter Japan getting their ass exposed. Holy crap. Just wait. Just wait. I came across this interview with Shueisha Online, and I'm so glad I waited on discussing Aka's retirement to this point, because the interview that I found here, wow, we got a lot of good info that needs to be discussed up in here. Woo! So what I'm going to do first, though, because I didn't cover it at the time, is I'm going to read the message that Aka posted on Twitter. Thanks, Shonen Leaks, for translating it. And then we will get into this interview. Here we go. Thanks to the support of many people, Kaguya-sama has been serialized for 7.5 years. Weekly serialization didn't go as planned. It never does, Aka. Oh, it never does. You can ask various mangaka about this. And there were many things that made me realize how weak I am as a manga artist. And that is a bad thing? No, that's usually a good thing to, figure out your weaknesses as an artist and to grow from it. That's like the best, I will say this, that's probably one of the best things I've gotten as a bonus, I should say, from covering manga for so long, because I've been doing this for like 6 years now? At least 6 years now, is that I get to see the evolution of the manga artist's art throughout, covering the series. And it's just an incredible thing to witness. And Aka, your art is no different. Your art is beautiful. Is it as beautiful as some of the other series I cover? No, but your art is still beautiful nonetheless. It just depends on, art is subjective, and it also depends on the genre of art that we're talking about here. But anyways. But because of that, I had a lot of happy memories, and I can look back now and wonder if I made the people around me a little happier. You did. Well, at least for me, you made me happier. You got me through, especially the earliest parts of the grieving process for me. It definitely was a huge help for me. I needed it so bad. And hell, I really did enjoy covering Kaguya-sama Love is War. It was very therapeutic. Thank you very much for 7.5 years. As for my future activities, Akasaka as a manga artist is thinking of retiring after this work. Even though I'm retiring, I would like to end my activities as a manga artist who draws and focus on creating stories from now on. So I would like to continue working as an original author. So basically, it's going to be obviously, it's what we currently have with Oshinoko. It's like what we currently have with Dragon Ball Super and Boruto, and to an extent with Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest as well. I think Rurouni Kenshin Hokkaido arc is the same. Yeah. Oh, God, there was another series I was thinking of. It's kind of, you can make the argument that it is kind of like Food Wars, but Food Wars has always been that way. So I can't say, technically it's kind of a reverse because Saki Sensei came up with the story slash concept for Food Wars before the writing came. Food Wars was all Saki Sensei's idea, so it's a little bit different, but you know what I mean. But anyways, as for painting, I intend to continue it loosely as a hobby. That's great. So I'm guessing what was going on with Aka, going through Aka's mind, was because of the toll of the weekly serialization. It just it became more of a chore to draw than than fun to draw. So I can understand. I can understand where Aka is coming from. When it becomes like that, it ain't worth it. At the end, even though it's over, but Aka still has stories to tell, and Aka would probably feel more comfortable, writing the stories they want to tell than, do the harder work, which is drawing. So even though it's over, there's a big foreshadowing left for Kaguya-sama. Yes, I want my fucking Ino-sama Love is War. We are working hard to bring this to you in the best possible way. Give me my fucking spinoff. I want my sequel. I will try to make it a meandering story, so I'd be happy if you could take your time and look forward to it. And G3, Ida Sensei, thank you for running alongside me for long years. He has been reassuring and encouraging. I hope you will support him in his future endeavors, as he is a very talented person himself. So that's the complete end of the manga, Kaguya-sama. I'm truly thankful for everyone. So that's it for that. Now let's get into this interview. So here's what it's titled. This is why I definitely wanted to cover this. Aka Akasaka of Kaguya-sama reveals the truth behind their retirement as a manga artist. There are some pictures I just can't draw. On November 3rd, right after the final chapter of the serialization of Kaguya-sama Love is War, Aka Akasaka announced on Twitter that they would retire as a manga artist and work as an original author from now on, which drew much attention. Why are they retiring as a manga artist at this time? Well, let's get to it. I want to face the challenges facing the manga industry as a whole in the future. Ooh, okay. So originally aspiring to be an original manga creator, he joined Young Jump. So your announcement on Twitter that you are retiring from being a manga artist who draws manga and that you will be involved in manga as an original manga author made headlines. Please tell us about the reason for this. Actually, I originally joined Young Jump with the intention of becoming an original author. So they weren't going to be a manga artist. They were just going to be an author. So basically it was going to be a food war situation from the get-go. Or in this case, an Oshinoko situation from the get-go. Let's see. However, Actually, I originally joined Young Jump with the intention of becoming an author. However, some of the first projects I submitted were rejected, and I was assigned to draw pictures as well as write the original story, and that is how Kaguya-sama began. If anything, I had to draw the pictures myself, so it was a reluctant serialization. Oh, no! You know what? I feel like that's why we got a lot of the chapters that we did. You could probably, you know what, that's why you could see a lot of the cynicism in Kaguya-sama Loves War, because that shit, I could see it. I was not confident in my drawing skills and was anxious, but thankfully I was allowed to work on Kaguya-sama for 7.5 years. This is where I made the decision to declare my desire to work as an original author once again. Well, you also kind of established, with Kaguya-sama, you established yourself, Aka, and then, you proved yourself once again with Oshinoko, how strong of a writer you are. And I love what Aka has done to diversify themselves, where you had something, you had a romantic comedy that had its serious moments like Kaguya-sama, and then you have Oshinoko, which is like the complete opposite. And the one thing that is consistent with both are the topics they discuss. There are very serious and taboo topics in both Kaguya-sama and Oshinoko that really don't get discussed, and they're very relatable in that regard. And I really love Aka's writing for that. I do. Let's see. The success of Oshinoko, for which I am, they're the original writer, has also given me confidence. If this work had been a huge flop, I might not have been able to say that I would work solely on the original work. My guess is, in that case, I think what would have happened is if Oshinoko flopped, I think they would have just probably focused on like spin-offs or something for Kaguya. That's my guess, but Aka, I'd like confirmation on that. So here's where things get very interesting. As the person in charge, Mr. Sakai, didn't you put a stop to Akasaka becoming the original author? So this is the editor that's talking now. Since Volume 14, which depicted the cultural festival, I felt the story of the two main characters have been fully depicted. However, there were still many stories that I wanted to see drawn in Kaguya-sama, such as stories about other characters and deeper exploration of the Yotsumiya of the it says, damn you, Deep L, the Shinomiya family. So I decided to stop there, so to speak. Let me make sure that's right. Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. I think there was something else. There's also this as well. Here we go. I didn't have any objections to devoting myself to the original author because it's Akasaka Sensei's way of life as a creator. On the contrary, if the number of works that can be in charge of the original work increases to 2 or 3, the editorial department will be grateful. I think that being the original author is the best way to demonstrate Mr. Akasaka's talent, so I think it's a great choice. Wait, hold on. Yeah, there is that. So here's the thing with what the editor said, and Deep L, you really screwed the pooch on that one. But I'm glad I caught that. This is why I have both up. I have that in front of me as well. Here's the thing with that, and we see that in as the best example of this actually is with Mashima, with Eden Zero and Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest. And we did see it with Aka as well, but how Mashima is doing it is very interesting as well. But the thing is I think Mashima, compared to Aka, Mashima is having a lot more fun because Aka, I don't think didn't have as much fun with drawing as Mashima does. Mashima loves to draw. Aka doesn't seem as passionate to me. But anyways, let's keep going here. Glad I have that here. Alrighty. Here we go. I want to challenge myself to write original works other than manga. I think there was a way to shift to being an original author without declaring it, but why did you dare to declare it? Seriously, there's a way to do. Mashima didn't. I don't think Mashima really said anything. I think Toriyama and Kishimoto just did it. To be honest. I don't know yet as an illustrator, but I don't intend to work on pictures as a manga artist anymore. I think there's work to be gained by declaring externally that I will become an original author, and I think it was not a bad choice to announce my decision to move on. Also, it was to prevent Mr. Sakai from saying, let's draw pictures too, after all. Yeah, I don't see. That's why I'm like, yeah, I don't think. That's why I said there's a difference between Mashima and Aka, whereas Mashima loves to goddamn draw, and Aka is not as passionate as Mashima is. Oh god, Mashima just loves drawing. he just. The thing is with Mashima is that I think he recognized that because if he drew both Fairy Tail and Eden Zero, that he would be completely burnt out. And he was like, nah, I'm not, because I think he recognized that shit when he was doing Fairy Tail Dragon Cry, because near the end of Fairy Tail, that's when that happened. And he was like, nah, I ain't doing that shit no more. I ain't doing that shit. And he learned. So, yeah. Mashima is so smart for that. Mashima listens to the fans. And I got a feeling, I just have this feeling Wakui is too, because of what's happening with Tokyo Revengers Extra. I really hope I'm right and it's a midquel, and I hope I hope I am responsible for it. Please say I'm responsible for it, Wakui. I beg you. But anyways, let's see. As an original author, do you have a desire to work in genres other than manga? I have a lot of desire to work in genres other than manga. I would like to try my hand at everything I can do, including animation, which we're seeing with Oshinoko, let's be real, novels, and games. In fact, some of them are already in the works. Oshinoko, I'm telling you, Aka is working and cracking the whip on Oshinoko. But also, you know what? Now that I think about it, it's kind of reflected in the Oshinoko manga, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Just a little bit in terms of like the animation. Because remember, we've seen a little bit how adaptations work, but not animation. That's ain't like Hitman yet. We've gotten a taste of it, but it's not like Hitman where Hitman like shows you the process. I'm talking about by CEO Kochi, in that regard. But anyways, let's see. Can you tell us about the genres and concepts of the works you're preparing in the future? There are three directions, and they are all different. Right now, I envision high fantasy, romantic comedy, and gourmet. Okay. Work with Saki Sensei, please. I want my world tour arc. If you want to write gourmet, I know you don't want to work with Saki as well, but if you know your shit and you work with them, please. Give me my fucking Shokugeki no Soma world tour arc. Saki knows Saki's the brains behind that operation. He knows what to do. It just didn't happen because of the food consultant getting pregnant. Like, please, I just want my fucking world tour arc. I want my Shokugeki no Soma. I want my world tour arc. Saki, get on this. Especially if you don't want to do it, or fuck, make this a trio. I just want my fucking world tour arc. Shit, I want it. Fuck, even if it's not Food Wars, I don't care. Saki, seriously, Aka, work with Saki, please. The man knows how to draw food. I want to see it, please. I just need it. I need it. Anyways, in 2020, when you served as a judge for Young Jump's romantic comedy manga award, you commented, "I think manga doesn't have to be poorly drawn." I wanted to advise aspiring manga artists that they can become manga artists even if they are not good at drawing. I consider myself on the side that cannot draw, but I was able to become a manga artist even if I could not draw. Aka, you can draw. I have seen worse art than yours, Aka. Oh, I have seen really, really, really bad art. I am not going... No... Oh. When I say, oh God, I'm not gonna say it. I won't say that. I'm not gonna do it. If you follow me long enough, you know who I'm thinking of, but it's not that bad. I've seen the worst of the worst is animation art. If you want to tell the manga artists where you could see really bad art, just have them go watch some modern anime and you could see how bad it is. It's because of how it's soulless. Because of how corporate it is right now. Fuck, I lost my spot. In the first place, a manga picture is more about perfection than how good you are at drawing. I believe that if you are good at that, you could be published in a commercial magazine. What do you mean by perfection as opposed to skill? It means that the picture doesn't look messy. What? For example, if a picture is deformed, nothing is said, even if the drawing is not well done, and the roughness is surprisingly unnoticeable. I wanted to show that there is such a way. Even if you can't draw, or even if you're not good at drawing, you could draw manga for now, and depending on the reaction of those around you, you could go on to become an original author. There are many people in the world who are good at drawing. On the other hand, there are not many people in the manga industry who want to draw stories. I want more people who enjoy creating stories to come out. That is very true to an extent. The light novel industry will say otherwise, Aka. Oh, they want to talk about manga industry that want to draw stories. Hold on a second. Hold on. I gotta think about this. You're saying, hold on, I gotta double check this translation because this is from Deep Bell. I need to cross check this. Really? I don't believe that. No. Where are you getting this? Aka, I don't believe you. The series that I cover, I've seen, I cover a lot of good series that have really good stories up in there. I do. I've seen a lot of them. If you were talking about the anime industry, I'd be like, yes, I can fucking believe you. But in the manga industry, I don't know about that. Because we've had let me pull up my thing here. I mean, I just covered a really good, there's, especially with this new generation of series, I mean, there's Sherry's Love, especially if you're talking about romantic comedies, or just shoujo in general, you got Honey Lemon Soda. You got Sherry's Love is 8 meters, High Fruit ended. And people love Blue, I don't like Blue Box, personally, but, I mean, if you're talking about, like, new series in general that are telling stories, like, I mean, there's Tokyo Underworld, which is gorgeous. And if you are taking a dig at One Punch Man, that is fucked up. There's, dude, I think that's what Aka is doing. Aka is taking digs at Murata. Aka is taking digs at but Ragnarok is telling a good story though, so I don't know about that. Let's see. Kengan Omega has a really good. The Kengan series, which has beautiful art, is telling a good story. There's Twin Star Exorcist, that is a fantastic story. There's oh god, what Sakena was doing with that manga is fucking amazing. There's the Dark Doctor Akuru, which is fantastic. The Elusive Samurai. The Game Devil, Ride on King is just a straight up troll manga, but I don't give a shit. I love it anyway. There's Tokyo Revengers is ending, but oh god. There's Noragami. There's obviously there's Boruto. There's Masahi No Slave. There's March Comes In Like a Lion. There's the War of Greedy Witches. There's Arumacun. There's The Ancient Magus's Bride. There's Make the Exorcist Fall in Love. I mean, there's Marriage Toxin. There's Kingdom. Of course, there's Kingdom. There's Kakiguri. I know Kakiguri's ending soon, but I mean, there's JoJo's Bizarre Freaking Adventure. There's Hunter x Hunter. There's Standing on a Million Lives. There's Soseki no Kuni. There's Jujika. I don't give a shit what you tell me. I like Jujika no Rokuden. Even though it's like basically torture porn, I love it anyway. There's Grand Blue. There's Goddess Cafe Terrace, which I covered earlier. There's newer series like Ghostbuster Osamu. As I mentioned earlier, Tokyo Underworld. There's Goku Ragai. That's I know I need to catch up on. Hajime no Ippo's still going, which is fantastic. There's 4 Nights of the fucking Apocalypse. There's Fairy Tail Engineer's Quest. There's Eden Zero, Fly Me to the Moon. I'm sad From the Red Fog ended. That manga was good. There's Detective Conan still going. I mean, there's Dan. There's D. Grayman Hollow. There's Drifters. There's Black Lagoon. I mean, there's Blue Period. There's Natsume's Book of Friends. There's Bungo Stray Dogs. There's Call of the Night. I know Cardcaptor Sakura is ending soon, but there's Trojan X. Like, what are you talking about? You're saying there's few series. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, man? If you're just talking about the shonen genre, I don't know what to tell you. If you're talking about shoujo, there's plenty. Oh yeah, and there's Chainsaw. What Chainsaw Man's doing is very interesting as well. But there's tons of series. I don't understand. There's series that are trying to tell a story. You just have to find them. I don't know if you're not reading the right series or what, Aka. I'm so confused by that. And to an extent, I'll get. You know what? I'll throw a bone to Boku to Hero Academia. If I didn't mention Jujutsu Kaisen, Jujutsu Kaisen deserves it too. But there's plenty of ongoing series right now that do have a story. Fuck, Blue Lock does too, and Captain Tsubasa. I mean, oh, and Gachi Akuda. I almost forgot you. There's so many. I don't understand why you're saying this. I don't understand. If you're talking, and as I said, you're talking about new talent as well. Bitch, there's tons of new talent coming in. I mean, Mobana is a newer series that is freaking amazing. That's a beautiful series. I know I need to catch up with it. And then there's the Game Devil as well. I mean, I don't know. And then there's what Shueisha is doing with the Manga Creator app. So I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I understand if you want to make fun of like One Punch Man and whatnot, because that's its aesthetic. Fine, I can understand that. Because One Punch and to give credit, actually, you know what? I can't give you a pass on that because of some of the stuff that one does up in One Punch Man in terms of writing is very powerful at times. So I kind of can't give you a pass on that. And the same goes, Record of Ragnarok, it's very, very powerful as well. So yeah, you don't get a pass on that either. And those are some of the most beautiful series I think I've ever seen in terms of art. So Kaguya, stop it. Or, I say Kaguya. Aka, stop it. I mean, stop. Stop it. But it's like you're trying to say that these people, if you're saying that if this is, I'm sorry, I'm throwing this manga under the bus, but deal with it. If you're trying to say like this is a Doron situation, fine, I agree with you on that because that fucking manga sucks. If you're trying to say this is like a Tokyo Demon Bride story, fine. If you are insulting Blue Box, I will definitely be on your side 1,000,000,000% because I fucking can't stand Blue Box. It's boring to me. Fine. If you are going after Blue Box, I will agree with you. But nah, I gotta draw the line. I would like to see more people create stories too. It is there. Especially, I know they're talking about new people coming into the industry, but you can have it both ways where I've seen more and more people that are adapting light novels, which I think is definitely needed, but having more team ups as well with manga artists, more collabs, I think writers and manga artists I think would really help as well. I mean, we're seeing that with One. One's doing that. Because One knows they're limited. One's putting his fucking webcomic on hiatus, for Christ's sake, to do a new series, and he's collabing. I mean, I feel like that might be the future, and I'm okay with that. If it helps, get great writers out there. Anyways. God, I'm really pissed. Jesus Christ, Aka. Anyways, that frustrated me a little bit because that's just not fair. All right. So with the success of Kaguya-sama and Oshinoko, Akasaka-san probably no longer has trouble making a living. But under such circumstances, where does your motivation to create new works come from? When you create interesting works, you get a lot of things that money can't buy. The same goes for recognition as an artist, and people will come up to you and say, "Let's play together." Is it true that Akasaka-san has a wide circle of friends, including manga artists, TV personalities, and distributors? Well, if I were an author who had not sold 100,000 copies, I would not have met many people. After all, famous people connect with famous people. And if I didn't continue to create something that I could guarantee I would feel self-conscious and not be able to be involved with such people in a big way. Also, I'm happy to see my work animated in motion. If the work I work so hard to draw is not interesting, there is a sight that I cannot see. Here's where I want to see. Akasaka-san, you are very accurate in your market analysis, but looking at the current manga world, what do you think will happen in the future? Here we go. The dead copying of a hit genre continues. Ooh! It will become something that can only approach a small portion of the market. For example, let's see what this says. I'm going to make sure that this got translated right. Where are you? The recent Naruke has series that has been repeated over and over again, filling in only elements of the Naruke series and not connecting with the story, making the work unreadable unless you're familiar with that genre. The same thing is happening in the manga world. A decade ago, more and more romantic comedies were dead copy works, drawing romantic comedies based on hit romantic comedies. However, with Kaguya-sama, we went back in time, put our feet in the ground a little more, and asked ourselves, what is entertainment? I believe that Kaguya-sama is a work that has been tackled with the proper consideration of the question, what is entertainment? Yeah, if going back to that question, or going back to what she was saying about, or what Aka was saying about the situation about not having more original stories coming out of Japan, if it is being referred to just, romantic comedies and shoujo, I still don't know if I can agree with that, considering what is coming out of the magazines too. I mean, there are a few, but I mean, from what I'm seeing in the Oricon charts, there's a lot of them. It's just that I can't cover them because no one translating them, which frustrates the fuck out of me. But anyways, I think you are nearing your target audience by focusing on one genre. I believe that there is definitely a downside to pursuing the right genre. I once suggested that we make an elf-made character, but the editor, Mr. Sakai, told me not many people know what an elf is. I thought, no, that's not true. But it is true that second graders do not know what an elf is. What? In what world is that true? Neither do their grandparents, and unknowingly narrowed down my audience. I knew what an elf was when I was in second grade. And that was before I read Harry Potter. I thought, when you take on something that exists, you end up with a genre that only caters to those who know the original story. It is better to abolish the genre as much as possible. I think the challenge for the manga industry as a whole in the future to increase the number of works that can be read by men and women of all ages, that are easy for newcomers to get into and that are still generally interesting. Here's what I gotta say to that. One, I agree with that. That is very true. But Aka, what you really described was the Western comic book industry. That is what the Western comic book industry is going through right now. The manga industry, I can agree to some extent with some series. But with this series, I know what series they're talking about, actually. If they're talking about, series, I can understand, with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, for example, with Captain Tsubasa is another good example, Shaman King, Saint Seiya. I can understand. Those get confusing. There's a lot of spin-offs and all that. So, yeah, I can understand where they're coming from with that. There's a lot of series that do that. So I can understand that. But at the same time, it is not as bad as the other shit that happens in American comics. I will say that. Nah. But I do like what they're saying. But I have to compare it to, first of all, with Captain Tsubasa, though, here's the thing with Captain Tsubasa. Captain Tsubasa, it's all canon. So there's that. When they're talking about this, I feel like they're talking more so about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Saint Seiya, and Shaman King. Because I think Shaman King, I want to say maybe like a couple of them are in an alternate timeline, but I know JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and Saint Seiya have a few that are in an alternate timeline, and those get very confusing. Now, in regards to Dragon Ball, like with Super Dragon Ball Heroes is just doing its own thing, and it's not very harmful at all. I actually like what Super Dragon Ball Heroes is doing, especially with how in the current arc it basically flat out says these are all alternative histories, and we're doing a tournament to determine what is the true history or the true canon. So I think that's what Dragon Ball is doing with Super Dragon Ball Heroes. I think is fair. But I kind of agree with like when it's with Saint Seiya, for example, or with Shaman King, or more so with Saint Seiya than anything. Oh, Saint Seiya is probably the worst with this than say like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and maybe. I say maybe worse than I would say Saint Seiya is probably the worst of the bunch with this. Yeah, I don't think the other ones are as bad from what I could think of. No, the other ones I think are fine because it literally says part for JoJo. It has its order. I know the timelines are weird, but they have their parts. So yeah. But I do agree that there does need to be more original stories. I think the other one that they're talking about as well, and I will agree to an extent, is Goblin Slayer. Goblin Slayer has multiple parts as well. It does in terms of like side stories, so I can understand that. And Kakiguri kind of does. Kakiguri has some too, and there's also Cells at Work that's really confusing. Yes, Cells at Work has a shit ton of spin-offs. So yeah, I understand. And Attack on Titan does too. So yeah, I understand where they're coming from. I do. I really do. But Attack on Titan is obviously easy to figure out where to start. Before the Fall is the prequel, by the way. Before the Fall is so good. Oh my god, if you have not read Before the Fall, do it. It's really good. But anyways, let me get back to the point here. I do agree with Aka that it would be nice if series weren't so convoluted like that. But the thing is though, it doesn't. With manga, it's a lot easier to figure out where series are in the timeline. In chronological order, like whether it's canon or not, it's very easy to figure out compared to say American comics where it's just all over the place. It really is. But I do respect what Aka is doing as an author. To me, it really feels like Aka never really wanted to draw and was just forced to draw. And when it is like that, it's very understandable why they would want to, just say fuck it. It really does feel like, if anything, this feels like a one situation. That's what this is giving me. This is very much a one situation where one was doing the one is going to go back to the webcomic. I hope one goes back to the webcomic at some point. If not, then I think what will happen in terms of One Punch Man is one's just going to, do the writing for the One Punch Man manga while doing the writing for Versus and just, focus on that, and then just have it go past the Blast arc. That's what I think is going to happen with that. But that's what it's just giving me. It's really making me think, because one is better at writing than drawing. But in terms of like the art, in terms of what they're saying, in terms of neatness, that kind of threw me off a little bit, because art is very subjective, and some people like messy art. Some people like Some people think art has to be drawn in like a more photorealistic way for it to be considered perfect. For me, it just depends on the genre. I just, for especially when it, for me, I want it to just be fluid. I want metaphorical art to enhance it. I'm a very simple person when it comes to, I know it's when you watch my content, I'm very picky, but I just want like fluidity, metaphorical art. I want the art to tell me a story. That's all I want. That's the thing that I don't think Aka like. I think Aka gets it, but at the same time, it's like, yes, people can draw, sure, but I want the art to tell me a story. I want less writing and more drawing. That's what I come from manga. I come to manga for is more drawing, just with the writing to support it. That's why I like the Kengan series. That's why I like Record of Ragnarok. That's why I like Blue Lock. That's why I like Food Wars, and that's why I like what Saki said at the Food Wars panel when he said that it was him who came up with Food Wars, and Yudo just went along for the ride. In terms of writing, I like that a lot. With Kengan, it's the opposite, where Sandrovich is the one that comes up with the ideas, and then Daromion gets inspired and figures out what he needs to do to accomplish Sandrovich's vision. So it just depends. But I'm really curious what you guys thought of this. What do you guys think of this interview? What do you guys think of what do you guys think of Aka's logic? I respect their opinion. I disagree with them in some regards. Yeah, they know the industry better than I do, but I guess it's very subjective art is very subjective. And that's all I got to say in regards to that. But I respect their opinion. I respect their decision, and their writing says it all. I'm very pleased with their writing. I can't wait to see what they're going to do next. Let me know your thoughts. And I will say this though, I just want my Ino-sama Love is War. That's all I want. I just want my sequel, god damn it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc. If you love what we're doing, I want to help keep this operation alive and kicking so I can keep bringing more, especially Oshinoko content. A few ways you can do that. Donate to our Cash App, PayPal, Patreon, purchase something off our Amazon wishlist. All that's in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow us on Twitter, Twitch, Discord, friend us on PlayStation Network. That's in the description box below as well. Till next time, Nerdigans, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.